After nearly a week of chaotic clashes, the situation north of Pokrovsk has begun to take shape. On September 21st, a Ukrainian analyst named Mashovets revealed a grim reality. Despite President Zelensky's claims that the armed forces of Ukraine AFU were prevailing north of Pokrovsk, the ground situation tells a different story. The reality is that Russia had prepared thoroughly, deploying large numbers of troops and equipment in advance, setting a trap. That effort has now paid off, shifting both the tactical balance and the battlefield situation decisively in Russia's favor. According to Mashovets, Russian units such as the 1st and 110th Motorized Rifle Brigades, with support from the 39th Motorized Rifle Brigade, established battle positions north of the village of Novoekonomichne and successfully encircled Ukrainian forces that had entered Pankivka. Ukraine's original plan was ambitious: first to seize Pankivka, then link up with forces fighting for Novotoretske, and ultimately surround Russian troops west of the Toretsk River. However, Russian troops neutralized this counter-encirclement attempt and broke Ukraine's plan apart. Meanwhile, AFU units advancing along the Pankivka-Novotoretske axis found themselves trapped on three sides. Russian forces launched continuous attacks from Mayak towards Sofivka, while also pressing north from Poltavka toward Rushin Yar, severing Ukrainian rear lines. With supply routes cut, the Ukrainians could neither maneuver nor sustain a counteroffensive. Still, Ukrainian troops have not collapsed entirely and continue to hold positions at Pankivka and Nykanorivka. Theoretically, there remains a remote possibility of Ukraine turning the tables and encircling Russian forces in the north, but with Russian air superiority and manpower advantages, the odds are as slim as winning a lottery. Elsewhere, Russia's 114th and 132nd Motorized Rifle Brigades were engaged in holding off Ukrainian counterattacks near Toretsk Yar and across a broad area to the south and southeast. At the same time, they expanded from Novoekonomichne toward the south, north and west, widening the defensive perimeter on the northern front and enhancing security for their positions. In Pokrovsk itself, Russian troops reportedly captured the western sector of the city and expanded their bridgehead. More critically, they pushed into and seized most of Novopavlivka, a village forming the outer defensive ring southeast of Pokrovsk. Losing this position exposes the southern flank of the city, paving the way for Russia to push deeper and eventually lay siege. However, before a full-scale urban battle begins, Russia must first overcome the Lysivka-Suky Yar defensive line, where exhausted Ukrainian troops are still resisting. Yet their logistical situation is dire. Supplies must now be funneled from Mirnorad, but that hub's resources are overstretched, leaving Lysivka's defenders undersupplied. While Ukrainian minefields continue to slow Russian advances, their endurance is in doubt. The Institute for the Study of War, ISW, noted that Russian troops often wear anti-thermal gear and use deceptive tactics, deploying minor units to distract Ukrainian defenses while the main assault force strikes elsewhere. Though simple, these methods have proven effective. Both sides also struggle with logistics. Supply hubs must remain at least 50 kilometers from the front to avoid long-range strikes, forcing the last 15 to 20 kilometers of deliveries to be carried on foot or motorbike. Despite these punishing conditions, both armies persist, underscoring the extreme hardship of this battlefield.